Here's my acronym for listening. The first thing is love. L. Listen with love. You know, when you love someone and they're talking to you, you are less prone to judge the person because
Yeah.
of their skin color or because of their educational background or because of their tribe or whatever country they come from. The second thing is listen with intentionality. I for intentionality. You need to listen with intentions. You listen not just because you're waiting for not just because you're being respectful, not just because you know, sometimes you're listening to someone and in your head you're like, okay, that's not smart. And you already wrote out everything the person is saying,
Yeah.
just waiting for an opportunity to speak. But when you decide to listen with intentions, you don't only listen to the words, you listen to the ideas behind the words. You listen to the feelings behind the words, behind whatever a person may be saying. The third one, which I like, listen silently. You can nod for approval. You can nod to show that you following up with the person. But don't keep on interrupting the person. And you know, it's funny because we always say, I'm sorry for interrupting you. You already did, right? you say, I'm sorry, but you did interrupt me. And the same words that I used to spell the word listen are the same letters that I used to spell the word silent. So listen is pretty much silent. If you're listening, you're silent. And then for the T, I went with time. Give time when you're listening to someone. If you're in a hurry, reschedule the meeting. Tell the person, can we meet at a later time where I can give you my fully devoted attention? And then the E, listen with enthusiasm. Have you ever told someone an idea and the person was excited, literally on the edge of their chair? Like, come on, what are you talking about?
Like that.
You know, and it's always a good feeling. It makes you feel good. It's like, oh my God, am I saying something that's really good? I mean, I preach every now and then. And sometimes when you're preaching and then you say something, you see people standing up and clapping. It's like, okay, what did I say? That was, and it gives you the motivation to keep on going. And the last one, the N, goes for neutrality. Listen with a neutral mind. Listen without preconceived judgment, without preconceived notions. You know, sometimes, like in the Bible, this story they talk about Jesus, they say, well, there's a prophet from Bethlehem. And then this guy asked, have you ever seen anything good out of Bethlehem? You know, and so many times it's like, okay, someone tells you something's like, bro, where you from? From Detroit. It's like, okay, yeah, you're from Detroit. That makes sense. and we always have these preconceived notions. And I see that again. I was reading this book by Chris Moreland. We hope to have him on the podcast. Or if we don't have him, we still review his book. Attraction to Blindness. He was talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion. And it's funny how we all have our preconceived notions about certain races, about certain people, about certain things. You know, it's just like you look at someone and the first thing in your head is like, oh, he's Indian. What is he doing? Is he in med school or is he a developer? We are so narrowed in our way of thinking that you can't even think like, okay, he's an Indian. He can be a psychologist. Or it can be, you know, an architect. No, it's like, okay, he's either doctor or something else. You look. Most of our Asian friends on campus. You look at an Asian, in your head is like, yeah, he's probably doing something with math or something like that. And we all have all these preconceived notions about people. But when we listen with a neutral mind, you listen to what the person is saying. You're not listening to their background. You're not listening to their skin color. You're not listening to their ethnicity, but you're listening to what they're saying. So listen with love, intentionality, listen in silence, give your time, listen enthusiastically, and then listen with neutrality.